I'm about to make breakfast in just 1 second, but I thought we could just chat for a second while I have my morning coffee. Charlie's still sleeping upstairs. I'm gonna go grab her in a few minutes when she wakes up. Hopefully she sleeps for another hour, honestly, but we'll see when she wakes up. Today, as I take you through my day, I wanted to share a few tips that I have for breastfeeding, things like increasing your milk supply, how I am able to go to the gym and work out while breastfeeding and staying active and taking care of myself. And I also have something really cool to share with you guys a little bit later. It's about one of the ways that I'm actually making some side hustle money as a stay-at-home mom doing, YouTube full time. I will share that with you guys in a little bit, but hopefully you find it really interesting because it's something that I have been playing with lately. I also have been really wanting to make some lactation cookies, so that's on the agenda for today as well. But I'm actually quite hungry right now. It is about 7:40. Chris is actually at the F45 class right now, the 7 o'clock class, so he'll be back around 8. So I'm gonna get breakfast going and it'll be ready by the time he gets home.
Hello to Mona, I mistook you for a dream.
So while I'm eating breakfast, I figured I would share my first tip for increasing milk supply and breastfeeding. I've actually started tracking my macros. I started tracking around 5 or 6 weeks postpartum so that I know, first of all, that I'm eating enough food for breastfeeding and working out and all of those things. Also because I'm trying to lose some of the baby weight. But my breakfast that I just showed you was about 20 grams of protein, about 30 grams of carbs, and I want to say like around 8 grams of fat. So like I said, I've been tracking, I've been eating this breakfast over the last few weeks, almost every single day. I've actually lost like 8 pounds so far of the baby weight, so still have a ways to go. But anyways, making sure that you're eating enough food, especially enough protein, is gonna help you maintain your milk supply, increase your milk supply. If you have low supply, try increasing your protein or your overall caloric intake. Charlie's still sleeping, so I'm gonna try and use this time to be productive, get some cleaning done. Of course, everything gets messy at the end of the day for whatever reason, so I'm gonna try and tidy up a bit while she's still napping.
Honestly don't. I should be the last to know.
So I just finished feed number 3 of the day. I actually got up and fed at like 3:30. Then she woke up around 6:15, so fed around like 6:30, and then just slept again until about 9 o'clock. So we just finished another feed, and my next kind of tip I wanted to share is actually to always offer both sides. If you start only offering one side, your supply is going to kind of back down to adjust for not creating, supply on both sides. And I actually like to use a Haka. I'll link the one that I use, but I just like put this on and I collect, this is about 1 ounce, just from it kind of like sitting there collecting extra milk. And what's nice about that is the fact that I don't have to like pump as much, basically, because I'm just collecting kind of extra milk throughout the day. So yeah, that's my next tip. Offer both sides, use a Haka to collect extra milk on the other side, and that'll help, stimulate milk production, and then also make it a little bit easier for you to not have to pump as much, hopefully, throughout the day. Hi, sweet girl. Hi, sweet girl. Now that she's about 2.5 months old, I want to actually start pumping more. I want to start doing like maybe 2 or 3 bottles a day once she hits about 3 months. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Just so I can have a little bit more kind of normalcy back to my life. And I just want to make sure she continues to take bottles, because as she gets a little bit older, probably when she hits about that 6-month mark, I will probably transition to fully just doing bottles. So I also want to kind of build up a stock supply of milk in the freezer. So one way to increase your milk supply, and what I'm trying to do, is start introducing a pump shortly after a feed. This will help signal to your body to create more milk. So I'm hoping I can start adding in a pump like mid-morning after her morning feed and start getting a little stockpile of milk that I can use like 6 months down the road. So it is hard to pump while you're holding baby, so while she's playing is a good time for me to pump. So that's what I'm gonna do. You see mama in the mirror. Yeah, you see mama, huh? Okay, I really did not get that much milk from doing this. I got like maybe half an ounce. I don't even know if you can see it. I'm hoping that by doing this over the next couple of days, eventually my body will kind of catch up and be like, okay, we need to make more milk. I have been told that this works for milk supply, so I am giving it a go right now. So we'll see how it works out. Hopefully I can start getting my milk supply up a little bit and making a stockpile so that come January-ish, I don't have to breastfeed anymore. That's the goal. So yeah, only about half an ounce, but like I said, hopefully over the span of a few days of doing this, I can get that up to like 1 or 2 ounces post-feed. I just wanted to quickly show you guys, this is a few days later. I did the same thing of pumping for about 10 minutes, an hour after a feed, and this is probably like 1.5 ounces. So I think it's definitely working. The worst part about pumping is definitely extra dishes. So with that being said, one thing that's been a huge time save as I am starting to pump more is our bottle sterilizer. Highly recommend getting one. I'll link the one that we have. It takes about like 45 minutes to completely sterilize and dry. You can also just run sterilize or just run the dry cycle, but it is really nice to have for cleaning and sterilizing all of these parts, bottle parts, all of these things, to make sure everything is sanitary and clean. I'll link the one I have, but there's tons of options on Amazon, so it is a huge time save though. I think we are on feed number 4 of the day. I'm still feeding her about every 2 to 3 hours right now, so we're doing like roughly 8 feeds per day. But I figured since I'm feeding right now, I actually wanted to mention a way that I have been making some additional income from my phone while I'm breastfeeding. It's kind of the perfect situation, and that company is called 5 Surveys. They're actually the sponsor of today's video as well, so I will briefly walk you guys through some of the benefits of using this service and how to get started. So here's how the platform looks. You can sign up either on your computer or from your phone. I like to use my phone while I'm completing these surveys, but what I really like about it is that you have to complete 5 surveys to get a $5 payout. It is free to sign up, and once you've completed your 5 surveys, you automatically get $5 added to your balance, and you can actually withdraw that at any time or redeem it for gift cards and things like that as well. Once you sign up, you can go ahead and get started taking surveys, and what I really like about it is that it actually tells you about how long you should expect each survey to take. Once you finish the survey, it will automatically tell you that you have completed 1 survey and you need to complete 4 more to redeem your $5. But like I said, what's really cool about it is the fact that I can just do it from my phone. It's super easy to do. I have found that while I'm breastfeeding, a lot of times there's not a whole lot I can do. I usually have like one hand kind of trapped underneath her, so I have one free hand, and that means pretty much anything that I can do from my phone is fair game. But if it involves both hands, it's a little bit more challenging, difficult to do while I'm breastfeeding. So I really like that I can just do this straight from my phone. It's free to get started, and again, it's just like a really easy thing to do if you have a few extra minutes here and there throughout the day. Anyways, if you guys want to go ahead and give it a shot, I have a link to sign up down in my description box. It is free to sign up, so there's no kind of harm in trying it. All right, we are done feeding now, so I'm gonna go downstairs and actually make lunch here in just a minute, but I just wanted to let you guys know I was able to get 2 surveys done during that feed, which means if I'm doing roughly 7 to 8 feeds per day, I should be able to get about 15 surveys done, which means I'd be making about $15 a day. And over the span of a month, if I did that every single day while I was breastfeeding, I would make an extra $450 from just filling out surveys during my feeds. So yeah, it's a pretty like easy side hustle, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom like me. Instead of scrolling through TikTok or online shopping while I'm breastfeeding, I can actually be making some extra cash. So anyways, just wanted to mention that for you guys. And again, if you want to check them out, make sure you use the link down in my description box. And thank you again to 5 Surveys for sponsoring today's video. But like I said, I am quite hungry, so we're gonna go downstairs and make some lunch. Charlie has been refusing her naps all afternoon, so hopefully now that I have her in the carrier, I got her to finally fall asleep in here. Hopefully she will get a good quality nap in so we don't have a overtired baby in a few hours. But the other thing I really wanted to do today was to make some oatmeal cookies, because another kind of breastfeeding milk supply tip is there's actually a handful of foods out there that can help boost your milk supply, and oats happen to be one of those things. So I have been loving just having oatmeal chocolate chip cookies as a little treat every single day. It helps my milk supply, and I personally have always loved oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. So anyways, I'm gonna make some of those today and be using those as a little bit of extra support for my milk supply. Listen, I am a firm believer that one must always eat a chocolate chip cookie while it's still warm, so we are gonna give it a try. This is a new recipe. I haven't tried this recipe before, so is there anything better than a warm chocolate chip cookie? So good. So it's about 4:40. I just wrapped up another feeding and I'm gonna head to my workout class here in just a minute. Another tip I guess I have for you guys, if you're trying to be social and you don't really want to breastfeed in public, or you're not bringing the baby or whatever, I always really try and time things like my workout or social outings or whatever around her feedings. So, you know, my feedings can last anywhere from like 10 minutes to like 45 minutes. So I started this feeding at like 4:15, knowing I was gonna leave here around 5 for the 5:15 class. So I just try to really like plan ahead, schedule my feedings so that I'm still able to do the things I really want to do, like be social, work out, and all of those things. And I will also say, you know, if it doesn't work out, my husband is here and he can always give her a bottle instead. So I try not to put too much pressure on myself with that, but I do also try and time kind of my outings and whatnot around the feedings. So I just wanted to mention that as a tip. And then the final thing I actually wanted to leave you guys with is, if you're really struggling with breastfeeding, you want to be breastfeeding but it's not going well, or you're not having good latching or something like that, look in your area for support groups. I've actually been going to a breastfeeding support group since she was like maybe like a month old, and it was just a really nice way to like not only like get out of the house and be social, but there's also lactation consultants there helping with latching and all of those things, and it really did help me make breastfeeding a very enjoyable experience for both of us. And sometimes I still go just to get out of the house, be social, that type of thing, but it's offered by our hospital and it was free. So I think most cities probably have something like that. So if you're struggling with breastfeeding and you want it to be going better, I just recommend kind of looking into that. But those were basically all of the tips that I had for you guys today. Personally, I've had a great experience breastfeeding and I'm very grateful for that, because I know not everybody has an easy, fun experience with breastfeeding. I am trying to get my supply up so that I can start building a little bit of a stash, and hopefully once she's about 6 months old, I could just rely solely on that stash. That would be pretty sweet to get us through her first birthday, but we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed these tips. If you have any other sort of like breastfeeding tips or milk supply tips or any other just new mom tips, new mom hacks, please drop them in the comments. I'm always trying to be a better mom, make my life easier in any way that I can. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go ahead to my workout class in just a minute, but that is it, and I will catch up with you guys next time.